Through a series of circumstances that we still don't understand, we ended up with some pets. Hi! Sit down! This is, I guess, our new dog. Today, we're going to be starting a project to contain her. But we have a unique set of circumstances on this property because the number one thing we always have to think about is that this property is in a flood zone and this has flooded. So we have to make a raised dog run so that it won't be flooded at any point. And so we're going to be starting with a base. We're going to find our level, our flood zone level, and we're going to make sure that our base is above that. So once I get that laid out, I'm going to come back and show you guys what it's looking like. We put together this frame built from 6x6 lumber. These are 12 foot by 16 foot. That's going to be the size of the enclosure we're making. We have this all bolted together with big long lag bolts and sitting on top of blocks right now, all nice, level, and square. But this is only the first step of this box because, believe it or not, it's not high enough. So we're going to be adding another layer. The same exact thing, framing it up a box, stacking it on top, kind of like a log cabin. Good. Hold on. All right, we got the two long ones done. That's the hard part. These will get easier. We're going to stack up these next two, and then we'll start bolting them together. We have some 8-inch bolts, right?
Yeah.
And they'll make it all the way through, lock these together good. Alright, well, we just finished up bolting together, screwing together all these beams so it's one solid unit. So now that we have the frame complete, I've been putting some stone in around the edge to seal up the bottom gaps where we could potentially lose our fill. And what that's going to do is I'm going to be filling this box up with dirt, and I don't want the dirt to wash out. If rains come, it'll sink down and wash out the sides. The stone is going to stop that from happening. So I'm going to keep raking that up, make sure the edges are filled, and then we're going to be filling it up with dirt. We got this whole box filled and leveled to the height that we wanted, and you can see we used a piece of culvert in here. We'll get to that in the end. But now we're going to fill this up to the rim with mulch. Mulch is just going to be a cleaner ground cover. I think it'll be more easy to maintain, that's all. I really wanted playground chips. I was thinking playground chips are going to be the most durable and easy to deal with and long lasting, which they're more like chunks of wood, and the store didn't have them. So we settled for a cypress blend, and it's an undyed mulch, just basic cypress blend. Well, that is it. We are done with this stage of the job. We have constructed the base, but today we're going to be penning it in. So we're just going to get right into it by installing the first post. Luckily, with this fencing system, they sell flanged posts. So what we can do is actually just bolt these right onto the frame. I'm going to pre-drill where these anchor bolts are going to be. Why am I using this tiny drill bit? That's weird.
That's what I was wondering.
Let me try this. All right.
You can do that one.
Oh. All right, let's put it here and see what it does.
Which way? Like this, right?
That's fine, doesn't matter. So we're gonna be lagging this in with a 3-inch lag bolt, lag screw. So that's the first post in. It's actually surprisingly stable. I'm happy, because I was kind of concerned about how stable that would feel.
Yeah, it feels super sturdy.
Now the next step is just marking out and installing the next post. Pretty easy. You know, it's a fence. This drill bit might be a little bit too big. Like, let's turn that sticker on the inside. Solid. Mm-hmm. Now, realistically, we could keep going all the way around and focus on the posts and get them all laid out, but I think I want to bring the first panel over, get it installed, and just make sure these are good.
Yeah.
And that we're doing everything right before we go too far. Well, we just finished the first panel. How do you like it?
It's awesome.
I'm going to work this way and get the corner done, and that way it's like a solid structure right here. But so far so good, and you guys can see the style. It's practically invisible because it's just a black wire fence, but it's pretty stiff and sturdy. It doesn't use any crossbars because it has this design that's kind of cool where it has a roll in the metal. So there's like a bend in the top, bottom, and the middle, and it gives rigidity to the panel. So I guess to use one of these posts as a corner post, we're gonna have to drill out. They put some divots in the metal, so I know exactly where to drill. So we'll just drill some new holes and get this side panel in. We'll just keep going, do whatever we can do. Well guys, panel done. There we are, 3 panels set, and it's looking good. It's starting to form a cage. So now these are really easy to set because they're 6 feet on center exactly. So we can measure center to center, mark and drill those holes. Or what I've been doing, since these are exactly 2 inches wide, if you figure out the math, it's 70 inches from post to post. So I can put my tape measure right to that post, measure to the side of this one. There should be 70 inches right in between. That's how I'm setting them. Last night we finished up setting all the posts. That gets us a little further along, and now today we can just focus on installing the panels. These panels can be a little bit tricky to get started, but once they're started, once they're held up here, it's easy. But it's really a 2-person job, maybe a 3-person job. It'll give the most stability. Now that we got 2 sides clipped, like I said, a lot easier because we don't have to hold the panel anymore. We can just put all the rest of the clips on. Yep, that's what it looks like up close. It's just a bracket that sits over the wire. The bolts go through. We're making it dusty over here. Just finished up the second half. This is looking really awesome. It's surprisingly stable. You know, It has a little bit of wobble to it, and I'm looking at it. Most of the wobble comes down to the fact that it's on a wood wall, so the whole wall kind of shakes. But it's solid. Don't let the wobble fool you. Now all that's left is the 2 gates. All right, we're just about ready to install the gate. I'm drilling my holes for my second hinge. Just got to drill through the post. We're gonna prep the gate with the other part of the hinge. This installs just like a normal like livestock gate. So this is what I'm talking about. This part bolts through onto the gate and then it just goes in there. So this part we're gonna have to do at the same time. Well, we just hit our first snag on this project because I've been following the instructions as closely as I can. I carefully measured out the hinge holes. Everything's accurate. We double and triple checked it. And the gate isn't lining up at all with the hinge holes. So I have to figure out why. Well guys, we made it through. What they did was, this wasn't our mistake. They actually wrote the instructions wrong, so we had to move the holes 2 inches lower on the bottom hinge, and then everything lined up okay. So they had the instructions saying 62 inches is 64 inches. Mission accomplished. Now we know what to do on the other side, so it's gonna go better. We're gonna hopefully not screw this one up. And with that, we are done with the kennel. Well, I don't want to call it a kennel. It's a dog pen. It's an animal pen. And right there, you can see her walking around in there for size comparison. Well, guys, I'm going to take you along as we assemble a doghouse so that this girl can have a place to get out of the weather and a home to call her own. You're going to build it with me? Stepping up?
Can't step up this. Can you?
You can't?
Set it down. Okay.
You guys did good. This setup is looking good and working beautifully so far, but we're not done yet. To make this even better, we're going to create a shade spot. I'm going to start by using some 2x4 brackets, and I'm going to attach them right to the top of the fence posts. You're going to see this process. Come along with me and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. So this bracket is designed to hold a 2x4 stud that way. All I did to it was chamfer out the holes a little bit. That's irrelevant, but I did that. And I'm going to be placing it right up here against the cap, just like that. I'm going to try these self-tapping metal to metal screws. It's not too bad. First bracket done. I'm going to come opposite of it, do another bracket over here on this post, and then I'm going to do a third one on the center on the end here. This is all going to make sense in a moment. All right, these 3 done. And now for now, I'm only doing 1/2 with shade, but I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 more brackets on the opposite side so they're symmetrical. We're gonna be adding on to this later on. So now we got our 6 brackets attached. You guys can guess what comes next. We're gonna be measuring some 2x4s, measuring the distance here, and creating a wood framing system. So let me measure out the space, get our 2x4s cut, and then we're gonna paint them black. I want it to look nice and be preserved. So we're gonna throw some black paint on them before we put them in. On there, I see.
Yep.
Let me just see the crown. And I'll lay it down. Like that. Okay. So now a 2x4 isn't super strong, but it's going to be strong enough for what we need. And we didn't want anything too bulky up here. So this is good. I feel like it feels okay. Now we're going to connect some boards this way. So this is looking pretty cool, and I think that means we are ready for the shade. Well, I would call that a success. I don't know how great these zip ties are. I'm gonna probably end up putting some better zip ties on there to hold it to the fence, but it feels like it's gonna hold. We'll have to see how it holds up to wind. This might seem a little see-through, especially on video, but it's actually gonna provide a lot of shade. They actually say on here, you see what it says? I don't know if that's accurate, but 84 to 90% UV block. We'll see how that does. The point is, it's gonna block out a lot of the sun. It's gonna create a filtered shade. Most of the UVs, the dog will be comfortable under here. It's gonna protect the doghouse. You can see from this angle how it looks. It looks pretty good. And with the wood support and the center bracing, it should hold up fine. Because we did both sides of this fenced area symmetrical, we could essentially do the same thing over there if this works out. We're gonna test this for a little while, but it should work out. And these are pretty inexpensive. They should last a while, and we could replace them as needed. We'll keep working on this and improving it as we go. Well guys, we have some cleanup work to do to get all of our tools out of there, but we are done with this project. Just wanted to take you along on this next step as we added the doghouse and the shade. I think that's a good solution. Not a perfect solution, but a good one, and it's gonna serve the purpose for now. So you can see, she's in there, she's been in there. We've been using it for the last week, and it's been working out beautifully. And we let her out each day. I do want to say that, even though we wouldn't technically have to. We do let her out. We walk around with her, let her roam. She's been very well behaved, so I'm happy about that. We do have a big fat pot of water in there. Always have water, don't worry. Guys, we got this under control. We are taking good care of her.
Yeah.
And everything's working out and everything is good. So thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.
Bye.